You can go one way or the other when you're done playing, and I mean, you look like you can still play.
Doss jumps over the line and grabs my face mask, but almost twisted sideways, and it's one of those deals. You don't
Just
the energy. I was reacting to guys over me. I'm thinking he's like taunting me, so I stand up and this ain't happening.
For the guy who's the starting quarterback at the University of South Carolina with long hair, a big personality, you don't need any help. All right, here we are again. A little postseason action for Tailgate Talks with DeMarco and Garcia. We're going to give you guys a little recap of what happened in the championship matchups this past weekend, a little look forward into the college football playoff and how all the brackets shook out. Our Gamecocks are heading to Orlando, home of Missy DeMarco. So excited about being down there for that. Steven and I are planning to do a little something for Tailgate Talks while we're down there to engage all you listeners and maybe like an appreciation. Maybe Steven will buy you a beer or something.
There will be beers. I can promise you that.
So no, we have a really exciting episode here, but let's dive in a little bit into these the matchups from this past weekend. I mean, like we talked about, not really any surprises. I mean, you ended up picking Georgia to beat Texas. I did not see that happening, especially after Carson Beck got knocked out at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean that was wild. I'm still interested to see if he's going to end up playing in the playoffs.
That's a big question mark.
That's a big injury.
Yep.
And we were just talking about it, man. The backup quarterback comes in there and runs like he has no idea how to run a football and gets smoked.
Yeah, but I mean, could you imagine that? Your first game of like true significance being in the SEC championship game in the second half, no intentions of playing unless it hits the fan, and it did hit the fan.
Yeah, but I mean that's what you sign up for, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't like some, slapdick that came off the bus. I mean, he was a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, and
but
we
it is
actually
a
were talking
different
about this
mindset
yesterday.
going in knowing that you're playing versus
No
you're
doubt.
holding the clipboard.
No doubt. And I think that, like I said, I was talking with a bunch of people the other day about it. And I mean, I don't know if you could see it, but like the players around were making plays for him. Like
They rallied.
I feel like they rallied. And it's like, well, what did you expect him to do? You thought they're like, yo, Carson's out, he's knocked out, so let's just lay down on the floor.
Dude,
No, I mean they were making catches, toe tapping, and
I thought
it was
Gunner played
pretty wild.
really good for that situation. He came in and he managed the game. Not that he had to win it, but he didn't lose it for sure. I mean, he threw one boneheaded pick. But from managing game, the ball was in pretty good placement when he got to throw it out. They got it out early. They did a couple zone reads where he actually had to keep it and run with it, which didn't bode in his favor. But no, I mean, Ashton Gentry goes for almost 210 yards again, and Boise's 2-score win over UNLV.
I don't know how much have you watched of Boise State?
I've just seen the highlights of him running all over everybody's face.
That's all I've seen too. I'm very interested to see what they do in this playoff.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not, to believe it, I'm actually pulling for them. I'm pulling for Coach Joe and Arizona State. Like I'd love to see some chaos in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State, the very first drive. I mean, I watched the first drive there. I think Arizona State kicked a field goal, and then Iowa State drove down and scored. And I'm like, holy cow!
Yep.
And then I flipped it back on, and they were up like 42-10 or 42-9 or something crazy. But
yeah, so actually, Rocco Beck trains with me down here in Tampa.
Okay.
I've been training him since his 8th grade year. And yeah, I talked to his dad after the hit, and I was like, "Hey man, how's the old boy holding up?"
Yep.
He's like, "That was a dirty hit," and this. And I was like, "Man, you played in the NFL for
Football's
15
football.
years, dude. Like, it's football's football. You're coaching the UFL now. Like, that's just it's part of the game." He's like, "Yeah, I know. It's different when it's your boy. When it's your son, it's." And I said, "You know what? You're exactly right. Because with Memphis, it changes your entire outlook on really life in general. But yeah, I'm telling you what, man. Are you rooting for Arizona State?
I mean, who?
They got a first round bye.
Yeah, and then they would play. Oh, Who would they play in their matchup?
So they were 4. So I
So
think
they'll
they'd play
play
the winner
six. They'll play
of.
Penn State, SMU.
I mean, I like that. I like them to win that.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out of that.
Oh, so no, sorry. Arizona State will play Texas or Clemson. They'll get that matchup. So, I mean, I would imagine Texas is going to be the breaks off of Clemson. Hopefully they do. And then a Texas Arizona State matchup. We'll see how that matchup ends up going.
Yeah. How about that? Just kind of let's talk about the Clemson backdooring their way into the playoffs. They're ranked behind us at 15 in the college football playoff rankings or whatever. They're ranked at 15. We're ranked 14. We beat them, and somehow or another they're still in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I've had several different text group threads going on about this and all that, and I get it. Like we did get screwed, and I'll go to the grave saying that this year. But this is the first year of this 12-game playoff. The committee has a shitload on their plates, and do they make all the right decisions? No. But you know what? Everyone's going to be watching, and I think at the end of the
Yeah,
day, money talks, and people are going to be
of
there,
course.
and they're going to make tweaks along the way. Like it's not perfect, no. I mean, what really cracked me up is that head-to-head seemed to be a huge emphasis to keep the Gamecocks out. We lost to lost to Alabama and to Ole Miss, and they were both ranked
Yep.
ahead of us. And I get it, Lost both those matchups, but Clemson beats SMU and then is the lower seed going into the college football playoff.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. If you're going to hold one standard, you got to hold it for everybody, and it is baffling. But I mean, it was we were talking about on the last show, and we both agreed if SMU loses, but it's a close game, I don't see how the committee would keep SMU out of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was not. I mean, I went to sleep at the halftime of both the Oregon, Penn State, and the Clemson SMU games.
And they
They
were
were both,
just getting their ass beat.
yeah. And then I woke up the next morning and I grabbed my phone to look at the scores, and I was like, holy cow, they kicked a 56-yarder as time expired to win the
Yeah,
game. And then Penn State came back and made it a game
yeah.
against Oregon. So, the last three games there, the Georgia Texas game was incredible. I was expecting a high scoring game, big time defensive matchups. They showed that they're two of the best 5 teams in the country, both of those teams.
Yep.
And then Oregon and Penn State. You're 2-0 with your picks this week. Oregon beat Penn State, so you're back.
I mean, I feel like that was kind of a no brainer. To be honest, man, that was the first kind of good look that I've had at. And I don't know if did you watch that game,
I watched the first half.
the first half. I mean, that was the first time getting a good glimpse at Oregon. I mean, they are a pretty damn good football team.
They're well rounded, but like you can tell. The Pac-10 is not terrible, but you can tell that like they're extremely talented, and you can tell that they know they're extremely talented. They don't play as hard as a Georgia, a Clemson. Like I feel like that might weigh and lean into some of these things. Is not that they've coasted, but they've kind of beaten the shit out of everybody so far this year. Um,
Right.
so I wonder
So
how.
you're thinking when they're getting hit in the mouth, how are they going to respond?
Just like if they make it all the way, it's what, a 4-game gauntlet. Three
Yeah.
game gauntlet. That's kind of the bulk of an SEC schedule. If you pay top 25 teams 4 weeks in a row, it's a different monster than playing star-studded team and then
Right.
some team and then another star-studded team. Like
Well, I'll tell you what, we did it, and we won every single damn one of those matchups.
won the last 6. So let's into that. Let's talk about the bowl game and heading to Orlando and the matchup against Illinois. One thing you and I have did the entire year was we with the pick'ems with Cut is we picked a lot of Illinois games because of Justin Stepp.
Right.
And they actually covered almost every single time we picked them. So what they're ranked number 20 in the country. Had a good season. I think were they 9-3.
I think so. Yeah.
So no, I think it's gonna be a good game. It'll be interesting with us. Oh, we're 10-point favorites. So
Yeah. I did see that.
they I love a good Cheez-it, but they really like the Gamecocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
which,
Uh, I think for good reason. I really do.
yeah, I mean, less the downtime. I mean, we've said it several times. I think we're one of the top three teams right now today in the country. I wonder how a month of layoff and a month of getting away from it, if they will have much lag or effect. I don't think so, with knowing Shane Beamer and how he
Right.
functions and how he works. And then we also, like, I guess one of their stud receivers already opted out of the bowl game at Illinois, and I wonder how that's going to come into shape with all this. Like, how many guys at Carolina are going to opt out because we're not in the playoff?
Yeah.
Which, man, is freaking ass
I,
backwards. Like, go
I,
go be
I,
the fifth
I'm glad you
team
said that.
in school history to win 10 games. You nor I, like, we were on good teams. We never won 10 games during our time. Connor did it, and they did it one. Or I guess Connor did it 3 times. Then we did it once. They did it once before us.
I was on the team half the year that we won
Yeah. You get
11
credit for
games.
5.
Yeah. I'll take that all day long. uh, but yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, your
And and,
legacy.
and but you got to think, man, when did all that shit start happening? Like, when did guys start saying like, I'm not playing this bowl game?
I mean, I remember McCaffrey did it. There's several guys that were high. This was all high caliber draft picks that opted out of, like,
But I don't remember when that started. I mean, obviously you got high caliber draft picks every single game, every single week. I just don't understand like when I don't remember when it happened. Like when it all just started saying like,
when the money
well,
started to
obviously
get
that.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I bet if we dated back, I bet it goes pretty far back. If we really look at it, the one offs that didn't play, or the one offs that were a little hurt that could have played but
And
chose
the
not to.
injured, right? Yep.
But I mean, in today's age with NIL and getting ready to go pro, it's a lot more prevalent now. And I wonder what guys on our team are not going to play. You know, we have potentially 3 first rounders, 2 to 3 first rounders.
I, I mean, you got Pat. Remember ESPN. Uh, didn't they suggest for Clowney to sit his entire junior season out?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that
Like
was
literally, just like just stop playing. Don't even worry about it.
yeah. Don't worry, you got it locked up. I mean, he probably would have. But
Well, yeah,
no, I mean, you got to think T.J. Sanders, Kyle Kennard, Nicky Mignore all have potential first round grades going into this bowl game. I don't know if they play.
have any of them said that they're not playing? Are they opting out?
I don't think they have, but I think those are just now starting to trickle in. And then obviously with the portal, like, the portal's kicking up now. I mean, Carolina
Yeah, I saw that.
has had 4 or 5 kids hop in the portal. I mean, none who played significant snaps this past year.
Right, right.
Which there's always going to be attrition in your roster. But no, dude, I'm excited to. I mean, every time we get together, we drink cold beers, but it'll be definitely fun to do it down there in my old stomping grounds of Orlando. Um,
Yeah.
we'll hopefully do like a true tailgate or something.
No, we we will. Let me ask this real quick, just while we're on the subject. What is your thoughts? I want to hear from you. Like, what is your thoughts on Dabo Sweeney and Clemson not going into the portal to get guys? What are you a fan of that or?
Well, they chose not to the first years, like, it was a preference. Last year
Uh,
they made offers to guys out of the portal and didn't land anybody.
oh, I
Um,
did not know that. I thought they still had that same policy. Like we're not getting into the portal
no,
stuff.
last year I know that they did explore the portal and they put a couple offers on guys. But I don't know, like, don't know the ins and outs of it. But I know that I think they're starting to realize that they're ranked 15 in the country. That the portal can help, and
Yeah,
and it should.
yeah,
That's what it's made for. Go get guys that have been there, done that, that can play at this level. That are just looking for a new opportunity, a new home.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I also see it from the other side too. It's like, you're paid to recruit high school talent and you're trying to create that culture. You're trying to, not bring guys that have kind of been influenced by other people's culture. You want to have your own specific deal, your own brand. And
I mean,
yeah, I kind of respect that about,
I don't
Dabo and that stuff.
I don't. I mean, I don't hate it either. I mean, it's. I've always just, like, personally, I prefer like a transformational instead of a transactional type deal. And I think if you go somewhere as a freshman, you really have you have 3 to 4 years to really transform the person you are, develop relationships, grow as a human being instead of jump ship every time money's thrown your way. And I mean, that's the transactional piece. But
But I mean, then there's guys that I saw today. I was texting with Mike Uva about it. This guy's transferred like 4 different times. He's entered the portal. It's like, what are you doing, man? And he's not getting paid.
yeah,
He's not getting paid a damn thing.
yeah.
He's not that kind of caliber player. And it's like, yeah, thank you for my time here. Thank you for my time here. That's like his timeline on Twitter. It's like, dude, at what point do you say, I gotta create a LinkedIn profile?
Well, that goes into the whole world of social media and everybody just wanting to be talked about and relevance, which is a whole different monster. And I can tell you one thing: was it MySpace and Facebook were around when we were in college. Thank God, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter were not, because you and I would have been all over the place. More you, but I would have been guilty by association.
Oh no, don't think for 1 second you weren't getting involved in that.
I
I'm not letting
partook.
you get off that easy.
I partook, not all the time. Um,
There was times,
there,
but I mean, no, I think you're right. That's why I'm having this conversation with, my son Memphis. It's like if you want to play college football, you got to kind of toe the line. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's on Snapchat. I mean, have you seen the screenshots of Carson Beck's Snapchat?
yeah,
They're hilarious. He's not doing anything bad. Um, but it's like, you got a potential first round draft pick and he's sending like that.
yeah.
Everybody's watching at all
Well,
times.
I
So
remember. I mean, I'm going to share this story, and it's not bad, but we had a big night at Olympia Mills. I think we had a keg in our room actually, and we had a big old party. And you were Gonzo, and which was not an abnormality that happened quite often. But this was an extra special night, and I was like, "Hey, Steve,
you're special.
you're blackout. Let's try to keep tonight low key. We've had a lot of fun. I think we left at like 11:30 to go to the bars, maybe midnight to go to the bars. And I'm like, dude, let's keep this low key. Like, go get changed, get dressed real quick. I think you were shirtless at our party, so that's why I was like, go get dressed or changed. And you're like, Pat, I got it. I'm good. Let me go get dressed real quick. You came downstairs. You're wearing a Vince Carter jersey and a sombrero, and you're like, I am going to be incognito tonight. Nobody's going to know who I am. I'm in disguise. And I'm like,
Holy
for the guy who's the starting quarterback at the University of South Carolina with long hair, a big personality, you don't need any help.
Oh,
But
could you imagine our boy Lenore's doing that? Like, hey, I'm gonna be incognito. Let me put a jersey and a freaking sombrero on.
yeah, but
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
that's what I loved most about you. You were going to be genuinely yourself all the time. And I think we ended up having a pretty big night at the bars, even though you were far from incognito. You were Richie incognito, as a matter of fact, at the bar that night. Um, but
Oh man, those were the days though, Pat. I mean,
we
could
had
you
a lot.
imagine doing that? Could you imagine doing that? Like, I remember your uncle was the first person I've ever seen with an iPhone,
Yep.
and that was in 2007. I mean, I could not imagine doing what we did in this current environment. And all eyes are on you, and everybody's got a camera phone with actual good quality of a camera.
So, I mean, on that, yes, it's crazy, and I mean, it's scary what it is, but you got to think these guys are building brands, and their brands come with a boatload of money. So, like,
Right,
being
right.
strategic about it all. Like, if you play it the right way, if you have a big personality and you can monetize that, but also be like structured and like disciplined enough to not make a complete ass of yourself, like you can really hit it big.
Oh, no question about it.
I mean,
No question about it.
your NIL dollar would have been extremely large. And I've joked around. I would have gotten some free pizza, beer, and a couple rounds of golf for free.
Yeah, I don't even want to bring it up or talk about
But
it. It'll just
then
upset
you would
me.
have paid for everything for me anyways, because you'd have been sitting in the high life.
That would have been ideal, man. But as they say, poo poo happens.
Yeah.
So can't cry over spilled milk, man. But I mean, I really do hope that Lenore's is getting paid what he deserves.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like you mentioned, I mean, you'd be the fifth team to have a 10-win season. Why the hell not go for it? I'd be shocked if Coach Beamer doesn't kind of get these guys fired up and be like, "Hey guys, we're playing this game and we're going to win this damn
Well,
game."
we've said it 100 times on here, but like Coach Spurrier, I mean, his recruiting tactic was us was come here to be the first that's ever done
You're
something
right.
in school history here.
Yep.
Now, winning 10 games has been done very few times, but you can sediment your legacy here at South Carolina if you go win
Yeah.
this bowl game and end on a high note.
Yeah. And then I mean that leads into, better recruiting. It leads into, the next year. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with their schedule. I mean, is their schedule already set for next year, by the way? I don't know
Virginia,
how they
Virginia Tech and Clemson are two of our
out of conference.
non-conference games. Yeah, it was another piece. I mean, Coach Beamer made it pretty clear. He's like, so obviously strength schedule isn't a thing. So why are we playing
Ex-
these good teams early on in the season? Like we're putting ourselves at risk of losing one, maybe two games against top 25 teams. Like why go into
it's
that?
he's I think he's 100% valid in that response.
Yeah, he's been very outspoken and honest and doesn't sugarcoat his words. I really respect how he's handled the whole situation. He's expressed his pissed offness, if that's
And
even
I'll
a
t-
phrase.
and I'll tell you what, Pat, when you win, you're allowed to do that.
100%. I mean, SEC Coach of the
That's
Year. Like that doesn't
yeah.
happen by accident.
Yeah, if Coach Spurrier was as loud as he was, and we weren't winning games, or he wasn't, winning games, I don't think he'd be as vocal and as funny.
100%. All right. Well, I mean, we covered, I guess, most of the league. I mean, we can cover most of these games when it comes up. I mean, we're going to have a month of college football playoff mixed in with bowl games, NFL playoffs. Like the last 12, 13 weeks of college football, 14 weeks, 15 weeks, whatever it was, have been really fun. But man, it's really about to uptick with, getting into NFL playoff push, getting into bowl games, getting into college football playoff. Football is like, I feel like it's just getting, I mean, it's kind of just getting
It's a
started, in
whole,
my opinion.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
whole new season, man. And I'm here for it. I'm excited about it. I know, everybody bitches like, I can't believe SMU pushed out Alabama. I can't believe Ole Miss didn't. I can't believe South Carolina didn't get in. Uh, Either way, people are going to still watch the games. People are still going to bet on the games. Uh, they're going to watch it
Where should they
regardless.
bet?
On cut, of course.
Um,
KUTT.
KUTT cut. All right. Well, all that being said, well, we covered most of the stuff, but our guest this week, I recorded with him probably 4 or 5 weeks ago at the Letterman's Golf Tournament. The Letterman's Golf Tournament. So part of the USC Letterman's Association. I'm actually on the board there. We host an annual golf tournament. We do a couple meetups throughout the course of the year. We do an annual spring game event. A lot of cool stuff. We've really grown it over the past 7 or 8 years. Ryan Brewer was a prior president. Courtney Levitt was a prior president. Brandon Conrad, who played basketball here, Walker and Abinet, Mo Brown. There's a lot of guys that came before us that have done a good job of keeping the legacy of being a Letterman and being a part of the brotherhood, of being a former student athlete at South Carolina, which has been a really cool group. But we hosted the golf tournament. It was the Missouri week, and Brewer sat down with me, and it sucked that you weren't there because you would have thoroughly enjoyed. Not only I stayed out till like 1 a.m. that morning, so it happened.
Oh, let your hair down.
It happened. And it probably would have been 3 if it was with you. So I'm kind of glad you didn't come up.
No doubt. No doubt.
But Brewer shared his story on he was a Mr. Football in the state of Ohio, why he came down here to South Carolina, how he had the success he's had, but also my biggest takeaway was what this community has done for him, and how thankful he is. And then obviously we talked about his time as a president and what the association means to him and the brotherhood that's alive within the Letterman's Association. So it was really fun to chat with him. So I'm excited for you to listen to it too. You haven't listened
Dude,
to it yet.
I know, man. And I'll tell you what, he came down here with another former Gamecock tight end slash linebacker. Forget his damn name.
Is it Trey
It'll come to me.
Brown? Not Trey Brown. Pennington.
Big ass dude.
I think it might have been Trey.
Big for I don't know if that was his name, to be honest with you. But I mean, we played golf and the guy hit it a freaking mile, and that's about as all he could do. And but I mean, we drank a good amount of beers, and just hearing like Ryan talk. I mean, he's obviously personable, but I mean, he gets it. He gets what the Block C does, and what it meant for him, and not only him, his family, and his future. I mean, obviously he's doing well up there, and I mean the guy's just a salt of the earth dude, man.
I love
You
Ryan.
know?
Ryan's been great to me with my transition moving back here. He's introduced me to a lot of really cool people here in Columbia, but he also was present for us when we played here. He was around, made himself accessible then too, which was really cool. And I think that was a big piece that we took from of like, yeah, we feel like we're on our own while we're playing here, but really, the guys that came before us got our back too, and he did that.
Yep.
And hopefully, we've interviewed a couple current guys over the last couple weeks. Hopefully they feel our presence too, and that just because they came 15 years after us and we laid kind of the grunt work for them, well, there was people before us that did it before us.
Right.
So
Yep. Yep.
continue to pass the torch, and that's what the Letterman Association is about.
And I think when we did interview Luke and Boogie and Lenoris and uh, Kennard and TJ, I mean, all those guys embodied what Coach Beamer wants to establish as a culture.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
he wants it to be like a pay it forward type deal, and obviously when you have NIL, you can afford to pay it forward,
Yep.
literally.
Whoa.
But I mean, those guys they don't need to do that. Like I don't know if that's in their NIL contract. They don't need to be spending time with Gamecock fans and being in the community. They don't need to do that. And for the fact that they are doing it, and I think that Coach Beamer is he's done a phenomenal job, and I think that it's wearing off on the players as well.
Yeah, well, dude, Kirsten and I just hosted our like ninth. It was the ninth year in
I
a row
saw
we've done
that.
our little Christmas shopping event where we've taken kids and families that need Christmas shopping, and we had 20 guys from the team show up to partake in that, and they affected the lives of the families that we supported. But dude, every single one of those players that left came up to me personally, shook my hand. Thank you, Mr. DeMarco, for the opportunity, allowing me to do this. It means a lot to me during this
Damn,
time of year.
Mr. DeMarco,
Yeah,
huh?
I felt old as shit. But it was really cool. I mean, the kids and the moms, their faces lit up, but man, the players' faces lit up when they interacted with these kids. I mean, we went and shot for about an hour. They went and had dinner for about 45 minutes, and then we sang Christmas carols, and I had a couple of them sing solos, which got a little weird at times, but it was awesome.
I can't imagine, man. That's such a nice thing that you guys do for them. And if you guys ever come to Tampa, that let me
Yeah.
know. I think that'd be cool as shit to do it down here
We
too.
can maybe spin off and do some of that through tailgate talks. Go ahead and pass it
Yeah,
forward.
that's yeah,
We can do that
yeah.
moving forward. It'd be something to think about how we can give back because, I mean, we're impactful people and we've been impacted by many before us. So it's time for us to continue to pass the torch as well. But this is something that Brewer and I talked about of potentially me and him being the slowest backfield ever. If I was at fullback and he was at halfback, put you at quarterback and we're the slowest freaking 3-man trio
Hey,
possible.
but it'd be hard to tackle us all.
No doubt. Tough,
It would be
gritty,
hard to bring us down.
will to win guys, but man, I don't know how many of them really ever broke 4.7 before in their life.
No, no. I remember, man, in high school, I could get after it pretty good. I mean, I was running low 4.5s, and then got up to South Carolina. I'm getting tackled by or like ran down by guys like Norwood that are 250, 260 pounds. I'm like,
That was pre beer, pre your introduction to alcohol.
that was at 210 pounds. I was like, I better put on some weight or I'm going to get folded in half.
No
So I
doubt.
said, you know what? I said, to hell with the running fast. I'm just going to bulk up and be able to absorb those hits.
Well, Will Hill can attribute to that because he felt all 240 of you when you ran over him at Florida.
Yeah, he heard some nasty comments as well.
I mean, who pulled you off of him? Um,
Jarrell King and Kyle Nunn. I mean, the whole freaking the whole the
yo,
whole offensive line had to do it.
yeah. Oh man. Well, I
Oh
think
man.
everyone's really going to enjoy this episode. From a recap of the college football playoff and the bowl games and the championship games that just happened this past week, to then looking back on Ryan Brewer and all that he's meant to this program. I think everyone's going to really enjoy it. So tune in again this week. Remember, like, subscribe, whatever thing you do on social media. Stephen and I aren't real
Like
keen on
what is
that.
it? Like, comment, and subscribe. I think is what it is.
Like, click,
But
comment, subscribe. Heck,
just
just
what all I want for Christmas, man, is just reviews. Leave us some freaking reviews on Apple and Spotify. That's all we need, man.
yeah. Well, and really just listen. Like you and I aren't doing that. Like we're doing this to give insight and because it's fun. You and I reconnecting.
No doubt.
But uh, everybody loves it. And let's just keep doing what we're doing, brother.
And tell you what. We'll tell the fans now, like, now that football season's, kind of finishing up, we're not stopping the tailgate talks. We're gonna have baseball guys that, former baseball guys that won national championships. We're gonna have
Basketball, male, female.
basketball.
Yep.
We're gonna have some of Pat's, NFL teammates and colleagues and stuff like that. I mean, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. So don't quit on us now.
To the moon. Tailgate talk
To
to
the
the
moon.
moon. See ya.
See y'all in Orlando.
Sitting here out at Fort Jackson for the, is this like the 30th or 40th Letterman's golf tournament?
I think it's 112th.
112th. It's been going on for a while, but it keeps getting better and better.
That sounds
And
better.
good company,
Yeah, man.
always.
Glad I could be here with you.
Yeah, we got 36 holes out here. I think we have like 47 or 48 teams signed up. So,
More than we needed.
yeah, really good showing though.
It's going to be a real fast-paced day.
We'll be done in 3 hours, right?
No. Let's put it that way.
Not at all. Yeah, I told Kirsten, I said, it's going to be a 5.5 hour round, and then there's dinner after. I'll help you get the kids to bed, and then I'm going out with the boys
Yeah,
afterwards.
Tyson fight.
So she knows the day. But no, appreciate you joining me. Steven is Memphis is playing a playoff game, so he can't join us today. But I mean, you're one of the OGs here. Kind of really started to put Carolina on the map during your time. But talk to me about your recruiting process coming down from Ohio. You were Mr. Ohio. You were Mr. Football in Ohio, right?
I was, yeah. Mr. Football Ohio of '98.
God,
Broke a bunch of records, and but I was, coming third to a pregnant lady in a race, so it was tough recruiting, tough sledding. So Ohio State,
Yeah.
told me, I went there a bunch, invited me to go.
Preferred walk on.
No, just I'm talking about like to games. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to Illinois game, went to Michigan game. They kept telling me, the recruiting's business, but every time I'd go there, Coach Cooper would give me like the, just a little, swim move, man. Yeah, I was like, who is this guy?
Yep.
Like, little white dude. Who's this guy?
He can play.
So it's just one of those. And Michigan wanted me to, play DB, and then some other schools like wanted me Louisville, things like that. But and all the MAC schools. But when Coach Holtz came to South Carolina, somebody actually in the Troy, my high school community, contacted him. He calls back and actually Coach Googe called and trying to feel out what's going on and everything. And then Skip came to Ohio on a snowstorm day and kind of got stuck there. But it was a match made because it's
Well, I'm glad that the schools up north kind of slept on you because you came down here and you shit on Ohio State twice.
Yeah, we had a good time. That first Outback Bowl was, it was just awesome. Just, like I said, it was a storybook kind of crazy happening. When I was playing slot receiver and running back, and Derek, was unfortunately couldn't play in the game, but it was my time to shine and took advantage of it. And just a little bit more motivation. You get
walk us through the when you flipped.
Oh, Wilhelm, Wilhelm. That was one of the face masks coming in. Doss jumps over the line and grabs my face mask, like almost twisted sideways, and I didn't. It's one of those deals you don't
just
know.
reactive.
The energy. I was reacting to guys over me. I'm thinking he's like taunting me, so as I stand up and this ain't happening. Just
See, bud.
I flipped him, and in the late great Phil Petty's standing there trying to catch him. I was like,
Don't do
he's
that.
in the air. So, but just things. That was just such a crazy day, crazy game. It was one of those moments that just last forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're still here in Columbia, still local. You have your Brewer fencing company, so doing big things here in Columbia. But tell me about what, kind of staying here in Columbia. And I mean, obviously, you're super well known. You've been a part of the Letterman Association for a while. But just tell us about the community of Columbia and what that means to you.
It means everything. So I'm married. My wife played volleyball at South Carolina, and we that's one of the main reasons we stayed here. But the real reason is the people here are awesome. I mean, unbelievable. So it's one of those, and I think for every recruit going out there, it's like you got to go somewhere you think you can live for the rest of your life.
Yep.
I knew when I came foot on campus here, I came in wintertime, man. It was snowing. It was nasty in Ohio, and like I'm sitting here watching the squirrels run around, and
You're like, this is
I was
awesome.
like, our squirrels aren't doing this shit, man. They're hibernating or whatever the heck they do at this time. It's like, I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like, this is a place I could enjoy. And then you start meeting the people, and the fans were unbelievable. And as you know, I mean, they take care of you, and they have. And it's been home, and I've been able to thrive business-wise. And then my girls going to school here and all that stuff, just been able to thrive as well. So it's just been one of those dreams made, just from making a simple, thought it was a simple choice, you know. And you've been through the recruiting process, nothing simple.
I mean, it changes your life.
Yeah.
Where you end up going to school. I mean, going on kind of another tangent now, but NIL and transfer portal.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's weird because the loyalty that you and I mean, we'll die for the garnet and black. That's not a typical thing now in college sports. I think that
That
Shane.
piss you off.
I know, but I feel like Shane has done a pretty good job of, like, he goes after guys that want to be here. I mean,
He goes after guys that want to be football players.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, yes, everybody wants to make money. You can't, I'm never going to fault a player right now for wanting to make money.
Yeah.
Now, if you make a bad decision for over a couple bucks or $1,000 or whatever, they're making
Yep.
a ton of money, whatever it
They are.
is, and you go there and you sit and you build a community here, a fan base here, that's shame on you.
Yep.
That's not a great decision, but that whole landscape now is, it's not killing college football,
Yep.
but damn if it's not trying.
but, I mean, I think that South Carolina, because it is not one of those programs, or we are not one of those programs yet that has won national championships and is in, top of the SEC, playing for a national championship year in, year out, that there's a legacy piece that, I mean, you came in and you left a legacy here. I came in 07 recruiting class. We won the first ever SEC East. Connor went on a storm and won 11 games. But, I mean, for recruits that come here, I mean, if you can do cool stuff, you will be remembered in this city forever if you can make the impact and leave a legacy.
Yeah, it's just being a hard-nosed player on the field and then being a good dude. I mean, look at Joyner. Look at, you guys that just, people with the fans here will embrace you for how hard you work on the field and how nice you are off the field.
No doubt.
It's that simple. And it's like, man, it just, you show loyalty to them, they will put it back in like tenfold, dude. And it's so cool here. Like you said, you come here, you can make the league easy.
Yep.
Especially defensive guys.
Yep.
Like what we're doing right now defensively
Oh
is
my
unbelievable.
gosh.
But and now you make a name for yourself, and what they're doing this season, if they keep rolling like this team's going to go down as like same as your team.
Yep.
And I love to see your defense versus this defense versus my defense.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some three baller-ass defenses.
Yeah, with some mediocre guys in the backfield. You touched the ball a heck of a lot more than I did. We were talking right before, but like we would have been a hell of a tandem. You behind me leading the way, like the biggest,
We have to run
slowest,
a lot of,
strongest
a lot of zones,
backfield.
a lot of
power. Let's get downhill.
Power,
with some
yeah.
counter.
But it'd be a power, but it'd feel like it was a draw.
Yep.
It'd feel like it was,
Always a gap out.
Why are you running delays all the time? No, I'm hitting as hard as I can, coach.
Hey, we're running. I mean, we were running RPO before RPO. It just took us that long to hit the
Yeah,
hole.
I mean, but that'd have been awesome backfield. And but right now, I'd probably be blocking for you. You're slimming down, and I'm going the opposite direction.
It's when you go one way or the other when you're done playing, and I mean, you look like you could still play. So, like, what are you still benching 400 pounds?
Maybe more. I don't know.
God bless. That
So,
sounds
a little
painful.
tangent here, but yesterday I did 225 35 times.
35.
Yeah.
I did it 26 about a month and a half ago, and that's stronger than I was when I was
It was
playing.
24 for the combine. So that's that grown ass man strength.
That is.
I don't know. I just,
well, you got two young girls, and congrats.
Yeah.
Signing day with your daughter going to
going to Winthrop.
Winthrop.
Man. So it was a big deal. That was actually yesterday. That was a huge deal.
Grown man daddy strength. It's a real thing. I got two girls coming up too, and first time somebody wants to take our girls on a date, I'm gonna bow up. I'll be the one shaking their hand at the door.
Yeah. So you'll realize it sounds awesome until your girls come to you and you're like, hey, Dad, everybody's scared of you. Like no one wants to talk to me. Then you're
true.
like, all right, still think that's awesome. You're like, wait, maybe I need to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, but your daughters are beasts too. though. I
Yeah.
feel like your daughters
They'll
can
take care.
handle
Yeah, they
themselves.
take care of themselves. I'm not worried about that, but at the same time, it's like, hey, no one, like every guy's scared. Like even to say hi, like that's ideal. So, good.
Yeah, that's how.
The
That's
little
how I wanted it to
bad
be.
boys mentality there. You
No
know?
doubt. Who you playing with today?
I'm playing with Courtney Levitt and then a couple of his buddy and his brother and a couple buddies, or one buddy out there.
Nice.
Hey man, we've been doing this for so long, and I got a bunch of guys coming in and played with us, and it's just fun, dude. I mean, just getting all these guys out here, and I love meeting new people. And so you see new faces out here. We have a ton of teams, ton of players, and guys that play different sports, and that's just a big deal to me to keep building that bridge.
Yeah,
and,
well, I mean, it's like everybody, when guys graduate, they get 1 free year as a member of the association. And then after that, you have to kind of follow up and pay, what, $70 bucks a year. So, I mean, it's not much. And then, obviously, lifetime membership's like only $900 or $1,000 forever. But, I mean, some of the benefits that it offers, all the social aspects, the cocktail hours, the Christmas party, Letterman's Lounge at football, Letterman's Lounge at basketball, access to tickets. I mean, you were past president. Like, I think I'm going to be president here in a couple of years. But watching this thing grow.
We get to vote on that.
Yeah, are you voting no?
I'm saying no.
I'm out. Oh gosh, I'll go petition out
There
there.
you go.
But no, I mean, this is such a cool community of people and the support it brings. And like it was guys like you, Courtney, Walker and Abbott, Mo Brown, guys that I know that played football that really spearheaded this thing and are growing it to what the golf tournament is now. I mean, we raised a bunch of money last year because of this. Get a great turnout. Our sponsors, the auction items, like
Right.
it is growing and getting better and better.
It is, and it's, the network is just getting better. And we've talked to multiple, in the Letterman's Lounge when other teams come in, like LSU, whatever, their presidents come in, you talk to them, they're like, man, we don't have anything like this. And that's there's some big ass schools are like, we don't have, and that's not, they don't have Letterman stuff, they have it, but they don't have the group of different athletes from different sports all getting together and like actually act like they like each other. And we do. It's the crazy part. Like every Wednesday, I hang out with a bunch of older athletes.
I know,
and
you're
guys,
still
and
recruiting me.
you-
I'll be
you-
there. I'll
you
be there one
keep
of
blaming
these
your
days.
kids on it, but it's just you're lazy. So, they said it's the network though, and I've always learned it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. And these guys, getting to know them over time, and they've helped me out so much with my business and helping other people and other former athletes out, and it's huge. And that's what I always said. Any athlete, when I see them, guys, when you get done, get freaking involved, dude.
Yep.
Get involved as quick as you can.
Yeah.
And get your face out there, and then keep your face out there.
It's crazy because membership is growing. Like there's a bunch of Charlotte members now, Charleston. There's people not just here in Columbia that show up to the events. There's people from out of state, 2-3 hours away that want to be active in this Letterman Association community because it means so much to them. And also, like, we're setting this up so hopefully, we give back to the former student athletes in 10, 15, 20 years, and they can kind of run with this thing and continue to grow it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. When you're done playing, I mean, all of us, you played in the league forever, but most of the guys done, they want to play in the league. That's what they think they're going to do. It's like you got to get in mindset. Hey, if you get hurt, you don't make it, whatever. What are you going to do? What's your
stands
next?
for not
And that's
for
what
long.
that's why I think these guys nowadays, like, they're a heck of a lot smarter than I was when I was in school. I mean, they already had these people have a plan.
Yeah, that's
part of
crazy.
that plan needs to be getting involved with the guys that set the tone before you, set the stage before you.
100%. I think Shane's done a really good job as a head coach of involving former players, getting us back and around, giving us access. I mean, if you and I wanted to go do a 225,
Contest?
yeah, I would lose.
do it.
But we could go up to the facility and do it,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
You get more though if we did a competition. You get all amped up.
Yeah, well, you're spotting me 10 too, right?
That's fine. I'm good with it right now.
Beat me, golly.
Because I said like 30 was my max, and then I decided to film it because I was told by a guy, one of my buddies in Ohio, said, "Man, no one's gonna believe you if you ever do it. Like for your grandkids, film it so they can see how strong you were back when you're 44 years old." I was like, man, I just feel like an idiot because I see those people in the gyms all the time filming. I don't want to film it, so I was like, so I kind of hid my camera over here.
You're an influencer.
I filmed it, and I was like, but since the camera was on, I was like,
Let's go.
I'm strong.
It's go
I'm
time,
a lot
baby.
stronger today. I was like, let's keep going. Come on. So,
That's big time though. I mean, I would never. I actually did Squat-tober, the Sornex group, and I haven't put a lot of weight on my back in a long time because I'm arthritic head to toe and everything hurts.
it's part of the game, man.
I did 405 for 10 back squat,
There you go.
which is probably nothing to
No,
you
that's
because you're
good.
a monster.
But I got a lower center of gravity, so it's a lot easier for me. I don't have to go as far. Yeah.
No, but this is, I mean, I know we got to get here and warming up soon, but appreciate everything you do for Columbia, the Letterman Association in the past.
too, man.
Still currently do. And yeah, we need Stephen and I have talked a lot to the guys that we played with and kind of our generation of players or that 4 or 5 years. But we need to get kind of the older players like you.
So, like,
Your grandpa is more involved.
Your generation, it seems like you all are tight, but do you all have like a big group of guys that stay in touch all the time?
Yeah, we have several group chats
Yeah.
and all that. And, we still have some guys that we're playing with still playing. So, shooting them, good luck
that's
today,
cool, yeah.
way to play, and all that. And we're all also in very similar stages of life with young kids. So we all kind of bounce it off each
that's-
other.
that's-
Hey, how bad does your house suck right now? Is it crazy bad? Is it tough? So we're able to go through it together, which builds that community,
I think
Letterman
it's one
Association and all that.
it's kept us like always together, because everyone moves on, and a lot of guys move to their hometown where they're from, right? But just the group chats, the WhatsApp chat, all these guys just seeing what everyone's doing, and just kind of posting your W's, what's going on. It's cool.
Yeah.
You're not bragging, like whatever. It's like, hey, this is what my kid did today, and so your group, like all our kids are going to college, or we got a couple guys their kids are looking to play football in college or softball, or mine's in soccer, and it's awesome. And it's like, God, we're freaking old. Our kids are off in college, but at the same time, it's like this is I can't wait to follow these kids,
Yep.
you know, because
Well,
they're
you're
my
exper-
boys.
yeah, you're
They're my
experiencing it together.
I feel like we're a family. Like that's my nephew, my niece, whatever.
Yep.
And that's, we're tight, and that's good. I'm glad you are too. And that's what scares me with some of these guys now, teams now. Are they going to be that tight?
Yep. Is it transformational or is it transactional?
Right.
And that's big, and that's something that I think part of it's on us as former players removed that have had success on the football field, but also off the football field, to really, partially on us to grab some of these guys and mentor them and talk to them and bring them in and show them what the Letterman Association's about and the community of Columbia.
Yeah, and that's the big deal there. And I think we can hopefully, from what Beamer's teaching them here, and I hope it's all real. You know, it's just a part of it too. You look at college and all this stuff. It's like, how real is this? All the posts and all that crap going on. But when you talk to them, the players are face to face with them. Like I just talked to them when Phil passed away, and the biggest thing is like, hey guys, look left, look right. These are going to be your brothers forever. And when I said it, I'm kind of like, are they? You know, how close is this group?
Yeah.
And and I just mentally, I was trying to I was like, dang, did I say that? Like, and they're like, oh, whatever, you jerk. You don't know about how I hate this guy next to me. You don't know.
Well, I think, there's probably some of that because it is so transactional, and he's making $100,000, I'm making $100, and so there is a lot of juggling in that aspect, and I think that with the culture that Shane's brought here. I actually think that these guys enjoyed playing football for each other. More this year than previous years.
Winning helps too.
Winning
makes it makes everyone tighter. And I said, so after the speech, like I gave, and like they all came down, and like they could have gone out this door. Every single one of them came down and gave me a hug, and you could feel, you can feel like, all right, this is genuine versus not. Like I said, these guys they're real. Like they actually give.
That's cool.
And that was like the coolest part of it. Is like these guys really care about what's happened, about what I said. Because when I was done, I was like, I don't even know what I said. Like, you
blacked out.
Like old school style. I was like, what did I just say? But they actually cared. And then like you go to practice, and biggest things like you see someone like go down, and who helps them up? Or has a bad play, who helps them up? They got that now. They finally have some leadership and all that going on. And that's big too.
Yeah, and seeing the excitement on the sideline, like that is the coolest thing, because when you practice, it's offense first, defense. There's animosity between the two.
You fight. It's okay.
But now, and I don't feel like in previous years that the defense was crazy celebrating the offense. Now, like Lenoris makes a big play. You see D Knight, you see Dylan Stewart, you see Nicky Mignore. They're the ones celebrating with them in the end zone. Like, it's becoming what I had here, with a family culture and wanting to win for your brother to your left and to your right. I think it's coming, and
that's
this is a talented team.
I don't know how you were. So like when you're supposed to go all the field and listen to your coach about what was going on, whatever. I was like, screw that. I want to see Rashad Faison, Jonathan Martin, all the Neesmith. I want to see these guys play. I want to see who they're going to light up.
Yep.
Because they're my boys, man. And if they lit somebody up, I was like, oh, now I got next. I'm going to blow someone up next play when I go in there. Like we had competitions from defense and offense.
Awesome.
I think this team internally, defensively, is having competitions like who's getting the next sack.
I think
next
Dylan.
ball.
I think Dylan and Kennard. They might have a locker room friendly wager every week on who gets more QB pressure.
I think Knight's coming in here now to show everybody up, dude.
Yeah, the defense is so talented. It's fun to watch. There's 3 guys right now that are projected to potentially be first round picks on the defense.
That's awesome.
Which is stupid.
So let's embrace it and keep winning.
Yeah, and ride with it. Plus, it's going to help with recruiting. And I know Coach Tanner and Shane are going to come here, and they're going to talk to Letterman. It's like awesome that they spend time out of their busy schedules to come talk to us old has-beens. Like, they don't have to, but that's part of the family network. I think that's created here.
They don't, but they need to, because this is, again, coaches and ADs come and go. We're here forever, man. And they got to know we're the ones that built it. We're the ones going to stay, and we're going to keep building it. And if we have bad things to say, it's never going to grow.
100%.
So keeping us positive, and I'm never going to say anything negative about it, but that's just part of it. That's part of the things. The Lettermen are a big integral part of this university, a big part of keeping the recruiting coming, and I think they actually get that.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sure that most coaches do.
I agree, and it has been pretty cool to see how they've bought in, and Shane and Coach Tanner. Obviously, they've been here before and for a long time. They get it. Jeff Crane, who's back, who was here before. It's kind of the Carolina way, and in a way they know it, they remember it. And that
it wasn't always that way, man. So I'm gonna let you know it was not always that way.
Yeah.
And we've had guys, former players that were kicked out of weight rooms, and guys that were big time. I'm talking big names, and that was the issue they had, and why they didn't want to keep coming back here. And it's like, dude, that staff is gone.
Yep.
But your brothers are still here, and your brothers behind you and before you're still here, and like it's just trying to. Yeah. And they're like, all right, and they start grasping, and then you start seeing them coming back out. And that's why we have this many.
It's so cool.
Players now.
Let's go hit some golf balls.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully plenty of birdies. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, I got all the mulligans. So.
Bought all the mulligans. Yeah. So I'm gonna
go putt $5 to go win some liquor, man.
That's what I saw. Yeah, we got an AR-15 gun shooting out here. We got a golf cart that they're auctioning off. Yeah, the putting green that's like loaded with liquor. You can probably close your eyes and hit it.
You can't. Everyone's tried it.
Oh gosh.
I got a hat so far.
Oh no.
$5 hat.
Hey,
but I was this close to hitting some Crown, and there's some like $182 bottles here. There's all sorts of cool shit out there.
Well, let's go.
All right, let's do it, man.
All right.